There was a time when he believed effort was everything. If he cared more, tried harder, showed up faster, things would work out. So he chased. He sent the first text. Then the second. He waited, watched the phone, read into every delay. When she pulled back, he leaned forward even more. At first, she liked the attention. Anyone would. But slowly, something changed. Her replies got shorter. The excitement faded. And one day, she was just gone. That's when the truth hit him. Not all effort creates attraction. Some of it quietly kills it. He had been taught that love meant proving yourself. That if you were nice enough, patient enough, available enough, someone would choose you. But what no one told him was this: when you chase too hard, you announce that you have nothing else going on. And nothing dries up attraction faster than that. The men women are drawn to aren't the loudest or the neediest. They're the calm ones. The ones who don't rush. The ones who don't fall apart when a message goes unanswered. Those men aren't pretending not to care. They simply have control over themselves. He started to notice something. The moment he stopped reacting emotionally, everything shifted. When a text came late, he didn't panic. When plans changed, he didn't get angry. He stayed steady. Not cold. Not distant. Just grounded. And that calm did something powerful. It created respect. And where there is respect, attraction has room to grow. He also realized how much of himself he had been giving away. He skipped the gym. Delayed his goals. Rearranged his life around someone who hadn't earned that place yet. He thought sacrificing himself was love. In reality, he was slowly erasing the very things that made him attractive in the first place. So he stopped doing that. He went back to his routine. He focused on his work. He protected his values. Not to impress anyone, but because that was who he was before the chasing began. He stopped bending every time someone wanted more from him. Something unexpected happened. Women didn't pull away. They leaned in. Not because he played games. Not because he ignored them. But because he was no longer looking for validation. He had direction. He had discipline. He had a life that didn't collapse if someone walked out of it. He understood then that women don't want to be your entire world. They want to step into a world that's already moving. A world built on purpose, not desperation. The moment he stopped chasing, he didn't lose women. He found himself. And that's when everything changed. He learned something important as he stood firm in what he believed. The moment he stopped trying to impress her and started living by his own values, something changed. She didn't chase him because he begged for attention. She chased him because she respected him. Desire grows from respect, not effort. For a long time, he was chasing validation without even realizing it. Every like on social media mattered. Every reply time felt personal. If she sent a heart emoji, his mood lifted. If she didn't reply fast, his confidence dropped. His phone controlled his emotions. And that was the problem. The more he looked to her for approval, the weaker he became. Neediness has a smell to it, and women sense it instantly. A man who needs constant reassurance sends one clear message: I don't believe in myself. That kind of energy pushes people away. He finally understood that her validation didn't give him value. His value existed with or without her. Waiting by the phone, fishing for compliments, hoping to be chosen every time he did that, he gave away his power. So he stopped. Instead of asking, does she like me, he asked, do I like who I'm becoming? Instead of looking for her approval, he started giving it to himself. What am I good at? What am I improving? What am I proud of? The shift was quiet, but powerful. And she felt it. When a man doesn't need you to feel whole, being with him feels easy. A woman doesn't want to be your entire world. She wants to step into a world that's already strong. And when he stopped needing her, she started wanting him. Then there was another shift. He began trusting himself. Before, doubt followed him everywhere. He second-guessed his words. He questioned his worth. And that uncertainty leaked into every interaction. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else can believe in you either. Confidence isn't about being loud or arrogant. It's about knowing you're enough. Whether you're successful or still figuring life out, self-belief changes how you walk, how you speak, how you show up. He stopped focusing on what he lacked and started noticing what he'd already done. Small wins. Big wins. Moments where he didn't quit. Times he showed discipline. Every win mattered. As his belief grew, something flipped. He stopped worrying about whether she liked him. He started wondering whether she was right for him. That's when the power dynamic changed. And then came decisiveness. He noticed how often he used to say, "Whatever you want." Where to eat. What to do. Where to go. It sounded polite, but it wasn't attractive. Indecision feels like uncertainty. And uncertainty doesn't feel safe. So he started choosing. Not perfectly, just confidently. A restaurant. A plan. A direction. Even small decisions carried weight. Each choice said, "I can handle life." Women don't expect perfection. They expect presence. They want a man who can take the lead, who isn't afraid to decide, who stands behind his choices. Once he understood that, everything became simpler. He didn't chase. He didn't beg. He didn't wait for permission to feel worthy. He trusted himself. He valued himself. He chose with confidence. And without trying, he became the man women chase, not because he asked for it, but because he earned it. When he started making choices, he noticed something simple but powerful. Every decision he made showed that he could lead. Not in a loud or controlling way, but in a calm, grounded way. Leadership felt attractive because it meant responsibility. It meant he could handle his own life and step up when needed. Before, when she asked, "What do you want to do?" he would shrug and say, "I don't know, whatever you want." He thought that made him easygoing. In reality, it made him disappear. So he stopped doing that. Now, when she asked, he chose. A restaurant. A plan. A place to go. Even if she didn't love the choice, she respected that he made one. And that respect mattered more than being right. She didn't want to carry every decision. She didn't want to lead all the time. She wanted a man who could step forward without fear. Someone decisive. Someone confident enough to act, even if the outcome wasn't perfect. He learned that hesitation kills attraction, but action builds it. A man who chooses shows confidence. A man who acts shows strength. And strength makes people want to follow. Then he discovered something that surprised him. Instead of trying harder, he started asking for small favors. At first, it felt strange. He thought asking for help might make him look weak. But the opposite happened. When he asked her for something small, like recommending a book, choosing between 2 shirts, or suggesting a place to eat, something shifted. She leaned in. When someone gives you their time or opinion, they feel connected. They feel involved. Not burdened, just included. These favors were easy, light, and genuine. Nothing heavy. Nothing forced. And by asking, he showed confidence. He wasn't afraid to let someone contribute to his life. He didn't need her, but he welcomed her input. That balance mattered. She felt useful. Appreciated. Trusted. And without realizing it, she became more invested. No chasing. No pressure. Just natural connection built through small moments. Then the conversations changed. He stopped relying on small talk. No more endless chats about work or random surface-level topics. Instead, he went deeper. He asked about what drove her. What challenged her. What she cared about. And when she opened up, he didn't rush to fix things or change the subject. He listened. He shared his own thoughts, his struggles, his goals. Not to impress her, but to be real. Those conversations created something different. She felt understood, seen, safe enough to be herself. And that kind of connection goes far beyond attraction. Most men never go there. They stay safe. They stay shallow. But he learned that depth creates bonds that looks alone never can. Being open didn't make him weak. It made him strong. It showed confidence, the kind that doesn't need armor. Finally, he learned how to communicate. Before, he either held things in or talked too much. Neither worked. Avoiding honesty created confusion. Talking just to impress created distance. So he became clear. He said what he meant. He meant what he said. No games. No guessing. He didn't dominate conversations, and he didn't disappear from them either. He spoke calmly, directly, and with purpose. If something mattered, he expressed it. If something bothered him, he addressed it without drama. That clarity made her feel secure. She didn't have to decode him. She didn't have to guess his intentions. She knew where he stood. And that's what women respect most, not perfection, not smooth lines, but a man who can communicate honestly and confidently without fear. He wasn't chasing anymore. He wasn't trying to prove himself. He was choosing. Leading. Connecting. And without forcing anything, she found herself moving closer because he had become the kind of man worth following. Don't talk like a robot. If you want something, say it calmly and clearly. If you feel a certain way, express it without hesitation. Don't avoid the point, don't twist conversations to get a reaction, and don't run from difficult topics. Facing hard conversations shows confidence and emotional maturity, and that's something women respect deeply. How you say things matters just as much as what you say. Listen carefully, stay present, and show real interest in her words. Women want a man who listens and responds thoughtfully, not someone who's just waiting for his turn to speak. Many men make the mistake of revealing everything about themselves too quickly. Women are naturally curious, and attraction grows when there's something to discover. If you explain your whole life story in the first few meetings, you remove the excitement. Curiosity fuels interest, and without it, attraction fades. Being an open book too soon doesn't create closeness, it often kills intrigue. This doesn't mean playing games or being secretive. It simply means not oversharing. Share enough to keep things interesting, but let some parts of your story unfold over time. When you give her a glimpse instead of the full picture, she'll want to know more. Patience is one of the most powerful traits a man can have. In a world that demands everything instantly, patience stands out. Rushing things, texting too much, or pushing for commitment too early creates pressure, and pressure kills attraction. Patience shows confidence. It shows you're not desperate and that you trust the process. Women need space to develop feelings, to miss you, and to let attraction grow naturally. When you slow down, you give her room to come closer on her own. Patience isn't about playing hard to get. It's about being secure enough to let things develop naturally. It shows self-control and emotional strength. A man who can wait understands his value and doesn't need to force anything. These ideas aren't tricks or shortcuts. They're principles for becoming a stronger, more grounded man. When you master your emotions, stop chasing validation, and live with purpose, your relationships improve along with every other area of your life. People notice the shift in your presence. You carry yourself differently. You stop being overlooked and start being respected. This path isn't easy, and it takes commitment. But if you're tired of chasing, tired of being ignored, and tired of not getting the respect you deserve, this is where change begins. Take control, move with confidence, and let your growth speak for itself.